I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Seven, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 187 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
Flowz.
And you know the drill by now, guys. My usual housekeeping message, please head over to SZN Podcast, which is our Instagram page, or SZN Pod, which is our Twitter page. There's a link in the bio on both of those platforms there. We're available on all good streaming platforms. So make sure you hit that URL on those platforms, in the bio of those platforms, and just, go to whichever you fancy, where you tend to consume your podcasts. We're on all the major ones, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And if you'd like to watch your podcasts, we also upload to the YouTube channel a few days after we upload to the streaming services. So make sure you do that, guys, for us. Much appreciated. Flowz, here we are, another week. It kind of feels like this week, obviously we've got fights to discuss as usual. It wasn't like a major week in terms of massive fights, but this week I think there's a lot of talking points because there's a lot of fighters that's worth mentioning that we've mentioned before domestically, as in guys that are from the UK, that operate in some of the guys, even, the guys we might have mentioned, I think maybe even our up-and-comers to look for and whatnot. So, yeah, bunch of fighters that we can go through, a bunch of fights. The main card, I think, was the Queensbury card, Flowz, which was on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That housed a lot of the fighters. So I think it's worth starting there. Now, on this card, Flowz, we had nice wins for, let's say, Liam Davis, for example, Flowz. Telford's own Liam Davis. He was up against, actually, a Mexican fight called Robles, Flowz. I think this was meant to be seen, as meant to be a step up for him, big step up, because this Robles guy is seen as someone that's quite decent, tricky, Flowz. I think this was meant to present a big step up for Liam Davis, right? But he's blown this guy out there in 2 rounds. Yeah. Phenomenal performance. And the way he stopped him as well, Flowz, with the uppercut against the ropes, superb. So, I want to give a big shout out to Liam Davis, Flowz. I think that's a super bantam. I think he's a super bantam, right?
Yeah.
He looks like a nice up and coming, right, Flowz? I don't think we've discussed him properly on the pod, but he's nice. He looks nice.
Seen him over the years. Has done what he's needed to do. I think he's even had a few good domestic fights already in his career. And I remember looking at the odds, and I was like, he's fighting an undefeated Mexican.
I think the Mexican guy, I think he's had, I'm not sure if he's undefeated. I think he had 1 loss on his record. Let me double check that.
Has he? Okay.
So this is now his 2nd loss. Yeah.
His 2nd loss. Okay. He's fighting a Mexican who's got, what's his knockout ratio? He's got a good...
9 KOs and 15 wins. So, solid.
Yeah, not bad.
60%, we'll take that, yeah.
So even on paper, it looks like, this could be a fair test, a tough test, especially a Mexican who's coming over.
Close. On paper, I said, we've seen this story before. Deja vu. That's what I said. When I saw the matchup, an unheard of Mexican with a strong record, decent power, I said, rah, we might have another Laura on our hands. That's what I thought. And
then once that first ball kicked off, and Davis went straight at him. Exploded on him. Didn't come to... He's obviously long, Davis, as well, but he went straight at him, used his reach, walked it out, went to knock him out, and got that knockout. So, super impressive performance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely someone that's seen as meant to be his trickiest opponent to date. And he dispatched him wonderfully, and grabbed himself the IBO World Super Bantamweight title, which is obviously a minor world title. But definitely huge for him. He's got good support everywhere he goes, Flowz. I noticed his crowd he brings his crowd over from Telford, I guess. Impressive win. And I think you mentioned how he's long. I mean, I think there are a lot of questions of whether how, he's 5'10", fighting at Super Bantam, which is crazy. There are a lot of questions of, how is he making weight? Is the weight an issue? But so far, so good. But he would definitely move up soon, because those dimensions already to be at Super Bantam is nuts. If I look at the other there's one champion at the division, that's Inoue. But if you look at Inoue's dimension compared to Davies, it's great. Like Davies is like Inoue's only 5'5". So yeah, he's got crazy dimensions for the weight class. But yeah, he's doing what he needs to do. So impressive win. Flowz, a win for Dennis McCann as well on that undercard. He fought a British man called Brad Strand. I'm pretty sure we might have even slapped Dennis McCann on our one to watch list. I'm not too sure. Have we? I feel like we might have.
We spoke about him before.
We definitely spoke about him before. Yeah. Yeah. McCann. I think again, this guy, his opponent was meant to be a good test for him. A good boxer in his own right that I noticed. But it was a good win for McCann. He got the win by unanimous decision. He was the aggressor throughout the fight. He probably landed the better shots, and he dropped his opponent. I think it might have been the third round.
Yeah, it was early.
It was one of the early rounds.
Yeah.
Second or third, where he's dropped the opponent. And just looked the better. He just looked the better operator in there. So nice win for McCann as well. I just want to check where that takes him to now in terms of a record. Because it's still fairly early in his career as well. So that's his 16th fight. Still, he's still got some learning to do, but he's doing what he needs to do, and another good win for McCann. So shout out to Dennis McCann. What else on the card flows? We had I guess it's best we move on to Mr. Joe Joyce flows. Mr. Joe Joyce versus Cash Ali flows. Obviously, Mr. Joe Joyce is on the comeback after the 2 crushing Zhang defeats. Cash Ali, I laughed last week when I forgot because I forgot this fight was. I didn't even know Cash Ali was the opponent. I laughed because I had no idea Cash Ali was still about. Obviously, this is meant to be an easy win for Joe Joyce. A nice comeback win for him. And he got the win, Flowz. Deserved the win as well. But Flowz, we need to have a conversation about Joe Joyce. Because the performance, Flowz, I'm going to be so real, it didn't strike me with any confidence at all. Same old Joe Joyce, Flowz. Same old Joe Joyce. And what I mean by that, listeners, is cool, he got the win. He tends to usually get the win all the time. But the fact that he's allowing Cash Ali to tee off on him with that overhand right every single time, which couldn't miss. Every time Ali threw that overhand right, it found its mark. It's not good, Flowz. We've said the dangers of Joe Joyce's style and what it represents for him. And unfortunately, that style came to bite him in the arse against someone that hits hard in Zhang Zhang. But my issues with the Zhang losses Flowz, right, was that, okay, he lost the first time. Didn't get knocked out, but obviously the eye injury is what really stopped it for him, right? But that eye injury happened due to what? Punches. He was using his face to block punches. So I'm there thinking, cool, in the rematch, at least you know what you don't need not to do. Maybe be a bit lighter with your feet, move your head more, be better defensively. But as you saw in the rematch, Flowz, to no avail, the same thing happened again. And, they say leopard doesn't change his spots, clearly doesn't change with Joe Joyce. So I don't know where he's Flowz. Maybe he's just so far gone in his style, and obviously him being old as it is, he's just not going to change. But this style, Flowz, is just not going to take him to the top, unfortunately. And as you said, he's already old anyways. Cash Ali, cool, you don't respect his power and whatnot, but he shouldn't be teeing off on you with that overhand right and finding its mark every single time. It shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be happening. Even if he's a non-puncher, Flowz, show some form of development or improvement. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say, Flowz? And to me, Joe Joyce didn't show that. Still slow, still ponderous. It just didn't. It wasn't an exciting performance. I'm just watching it, not really engaged because it's the same old Joe Joyce, and it's not a great watch, man. It's not a great watch. So yes, I know Joe Joyce has a problem on his day, Flowz, because that chin is still probably tough, and he's huge and he's relentless. But I just think he's hindered by that style, man. He's really hindered by that style, and the top quality will find him out. Simple as.
Look, it's just Joe Joyce. And look, we talk about expected improvements. The guy's nearly 40. He's on the decline, if anything. He's going to have to be on the decline. Like Father Time catches up with you. And I'm not saying the decline is now. I'm not saying he showed signs of decline. This is a comeback fight for him, but it's going to be a decline from him. I'm not expecting any improvements from him. We're going to get what we get with Joyce. He's going to plod forward, throw shots the way he throws shots in a weird way, but he's going to have that engine to last. That's he doesn't slow down. He doesn't fade. He keeps coming the same way, and eventually he wins the war of attrition. And look, this is the reason why me and you have backed him to lose several times before.
Several times, yeah.
Every time he stepped up, he's proven us wrong in those occasions. Against the Bois, proved us wrong. Against Joe Parker, proved us wrong. But this is someone we've seen Takam tee off on.
Tee off. Hammer? Was it Hammer?
Hammer was landing shots on him. Brian Jennings was getting off on him.
Yep.
Look, we've
now
seen
Cash Ali.
And Cash Ali, add him to the mix. Zhang Parker was bombing him.
Piecing him up so bad.
Bombing him. But once again, he just fades you out. He keeps coming forward. He doesn't take a step back. It's relentless pressure from him, which is his strength. And look, it's a good strength to have.
Yeah.
But when you meet someone who's quick, light, and have power, and they've got power, and won't fade, then he will struggle. But he's still a threat to everyone. But have I ever truly rated Joyce? Because let me say I've not rated his style. Let me say that.
Yeah, that's what it is for. It's a style. That's it. That's the issue I have. I hate. I said it's a problem.
Yeah, he's anyone who relies on their chin like that often and that frequently. I can't rate it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like, look, he got the win. He done what he was supposed to do. Shout out to Cash Ali for being in there, fighting, landing. But yeah, if you're gonna land on anyone, it's a Joyce.
I said if you were to test out your new punches, Joyce, you're mad. I'll be honest. I expected Cash Ali to be doing up a run and hide, but he at portions he stood there with Joe. Obviously, Joyce was obviously pressuring him and doing most of the work in there. And Cash Ali was on the defensive for pretty much all the fight. But there were times where Cash Ali would stand there and, throw the overhand, and it's just not missing. Just not missing. Throwing a couple overhands, and they're bouncing off his face. They're not doing anything to Jojo. They're not making a dent in him. Cash Ali hasn't got the power to do that. But these are scoring shots, right, Flowz? And you're seeing the consensus. People are there saying now Jojo struggled to get with a Cash Ali. Other boxers are there saying, he didn't look too good. That kind of stuff. And no offense to Cash Ali, but Jojo should be looking a class above him, even coming off the back of 2 losses, because he's lost to a really good guy in Zhilei Zhang. So the fact that he hasn't really looked that impressive, I still think he clearly won the fight, but it's not a performance to write home about, in my opinion. It's not a good look. And yeah, I know he won't change, because if you can't change after a loss to the same opponent, Flowz, then yeah, you're never going to change. Let's be real. He's always going to have that style. It is where he is. I just think it limits him, unfortunately, in terms of where he can go. It's boxing, so we know styles make fights, Flowz, and some opponents it will work, but other opponents I know it won't work against. And that's the be all end all, really.
That's the problem. Like, look here, he'll beat a lot of these guys, but he will lose a lot of these guys as well.
Yeah. So maybe not even a lot, Flowz. A select few that I know can give him hell. Yeah. Probably not a lot, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, it all comes down to how long that chin can last, because his engine will last. I believe his engine, but if that chin, good chins only last so long.
Yeah, I was going to say the chin thing isn't a finite thing. The chins always go. Always, your punch resistance will go. Always, Flowz.
And that's the question mark, because while he has the chin, his style will win fights for him. But if that chin starts to make him dance a few times, then the pool of people who can beat him widens.
I say doubles overnight.
Yeah, so he's like his style, his pressure style, walking forward, tiring people out, winning that war of attrition, is a phenomenal attribute. But if he gets carried by his chin, so we'll see where he goes. He's still in for, let me not say exciting fights, but exciting matchups. In terms of how will the styles combine, who will take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Who would you want to see him fight next? Just out of interest.
Hmm. Guess a
Mr.
Parker
Whyte, a
rematch.
certain Mr. Whyte, who we're going to discuss later.
Yeah, Mr.
White called,
Dylan White
he
could be
called
a
him
good
out.
one.
Mm.
Yeah, some of these other domestic fights would be good for him. There's some fights I just think he loses because they like a
I
Usyk
actually think
just piece him
I
up.
actually think a Dubois rematch. I probably favor Dubois, because I think Dubois has shown a bit of growth since that loss.
Mm.
And maybe he has more dog in him now. Maybe after the Joe Miller fight, So yeah, Dubois, I think, could, if he fancies it, he could take the rematch and he could win the rematch. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the rematch, to be honest.
Six knees the bar. Yeah, he needs to go for more fire before he gets back into Joyce, man.
I'll
Six
still
knees
see
the
Joe.
bar.
I'll still see. That's so funny. It was rude for that. I still would like to see Wilder Joyce.
Yeah.
I know what happened. I don't think it ever happened, but I would like to see it. But yeah, no, fair enough. Cool. Anyways, Flowz, that's out of the way. Let's the main event, Flowz, was the British title fight between Nathan Heaney and Brad Pauls. And Flowz, yeah, I'm happy to get to this because what a fight, Flowz. I mean, we've said it many times, Flowz, how there's something about these British title fights that just means more. You know what I mean, Flowz? It means more. It means something to the fans, to the fighters, Flowz. It just means more, and they're always elite. I don't think I've watched a bad British title fight for the most part, Flowz. They're usually very, very elite occasions, wars, back and forth scraps. And what Nathan Heaney and Brad Pauls treated us to was no different to the other British title fights we've waxed lyrical about, Flowz. Another phenomenal fight, Flowz, we treated to. Yeah, Flowz. I want to get your opinion. Just what were your thoughts on this fight, Flowz, and how it went down? Yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, it was. I was tuned in as soon as I knew it was like I'm not too familiar with both guys. I'm not familiar with Pauls. I've seen Heaney out before.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are regarded in any huge light on the world stage or expected to go on to do big things.
No.
But look, in a ruckus, where was it? In Stoke? Was it Stoke?
I think it was. I thought it was in Birmingham, but I could be wrong. I feel like it was in Birmingham. Let me check.
In a raucous crowd like that, the crowd were rocking from the undercard, rocking British title fights.
Yeah, sorry, it was in Brum.
In Brum, yeah.
But Heaney's from Stoke, so that's
okay. Heaney's from Stoke. Okay, yeah. British title fights, I'm always there. They're elite. They're wars. They're the best of the best. So look, as soon as this fight was there, I was there, and it kicked off nicely. From the first bell to the last, they were good at it. There was even a point where I thought the fight was over. I was like, this what 12 rounds this has been. There's another round to go. I stood up. But look, shout out to Paul, shout out to Heaney because what they put on was brilliant. I'm trying to think how did the fight go from the first round?
Well,
go on. For me, it was close fight. Maybe Heaney was nicking the early rounds. I think after 4, I had it 2-2.
Yeah.
After 6, I think I maybe even had it 3-3 or 4-2. So I had it close. I was enjoying it. I don't know how you saw it early on.
Yeah, no, it was for me early on, Flowz. It was competitive from the jump, and to me I saw a nice clash of styles here because if I'm watching both of them, to me Heaney looks like the better boxer of the two. He to me showed a bit more in terms of he could fight on the back foot if need be, but also coming forward, he was also doing good work coming forward as well. He's a bit taller and longer, so he was working behind the jab and just trying to box and move. He was doing that to a decent level. Whereas Pauls being a shorter man, was looking to close the gap. And then as he's closing the gap, Flowz come through with explosive combinations as he's closing. As in not waiting for the gap to close. He's stepping forward and launching it with these big bombs.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing a lot of the time, I was seeing when I say it's back and forth, right? Heaney is catching Pauls on the outside, or as Pauls is trying to come in, he's timing him well. Box, move. Doing that really well. Whereas when Pauls will come in with those explosive combinations, he will catch Heaney with big shots. So, like, the more eye-catching shots were coming from Pauls to me, Flowz, in terms of the big woof shots, right? Whereas I think Heaney's work was more constant, if that makes sense. So even though they might not be eye-catching, it's scoring shots, tap, score, tap, score. So that's how I saw it early on. So that's why it was a nice clash of styles. And that's what made it for a compelling, competitive fight. So yeah, I also had it close early on, Flowz.
Yeah.
And despite what the commentary would have us, because I know you're itching to get to this as well, Flowz, I know it was pissing you off the entire fight. The commentary, so biased towards Heaney, right? So biased.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, honestly. Like, I'll be real, I wasn't too focused on the fight. I was watching it, but I think, I can't remember, I was like looking off to the side randomly.
Yeah.
And I was looking and I'm seeing Paul's down a big shot. And the commentary silent. They're praising Heaney for doing what he done just before the shot. And when I'll be looking away, I'm hearing like, oh, Heaney's doing this, doing that. And I'll look back and I'm seeing Paul's getting off his work as well.
Bro, even the tone, right? When Pauls will land the shot, oh yeah, that was a nice shot from Pauls. Just flat monotone. The moment he lands it, oh, what a shot from Heaney.
Wait. I was like, wait a minute.
I said, nah, you're not taking the piss.
So I'm watching that, like, you guys, because Pauls is landing big shots, huge, like the shots he's going
the
for.
biggest shots in the fight.
They're all complete silence. And I'm like, are you not joking? So now I'm watching this fight. I have no horse in the race. I'm not. But now I'm thinking, nah, I want Pauls to stop him now. I'm thinking, because most of the ringside scorecard came up after
they had
6.
Heaney up top, didn't they? By
They
that
had
fight,
5-1.
5-1. Yeah, crazy.
And I was like, I was like 4-2. I think maybe I had it. I said between 4-2 and 3-3 is what I'd say. There was one close round. Which I said 5-1. I was like, you're not joking. And they was like, yeah, he's in cruise control, acting like and I'm seeing him getting hit with big shots.
Bro, you're seeing his nose bust.
And then I think he went through hell. Like the second half of the fight. Second half of the fight.
Yeah, second half of the fight.
Halves, but second half
was the fight where Pauls really upped the ante, Flowz, and caught Heaney with those big bombs. And this time we're seeing it have a real effect. And there was, I think, obviously the 11th round, which was a sensational round. But even before the 11th, I think there was a round before that where
maybe
Heaney was badly hurt. I think 7th or 8th, I feel like it was.
Because he recovered. So I think maybe it might have been, the 8th round.
Yeah. Let's say 8th, where he had Heaney in a world of trouble. Yes, it was the 8th. That's the gum shield round. I remember.
Yes, yeah.
So he's launching.
Yes. Thank you.
So he's launched in Flowz, cracked Heaney. Boom. Gum shield, dash out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Flew out of his mouth, right? Referee's gone to get it. But obviously, at this point, Pauls is unloading.
Yeah.
Got Heaney in the corner against the ropes, and he's going crazy. And Heaney's trying to ride the shots, he's even trying to fire back on his points, but he's pauses over Heaney like a rash. And whilst he was in mid-flow Flowz of unloading, what does the referee come and do? Stops the fight.
Jumps right in.
Jumps right in because of the gum shield, obviously. When we know usually the rule, it's even a rule or is it just unwritten rule? But usually what we see in boxing is, for the most part, the referee will wait to the end of a round and then get the gum shield back. Sometimes some refs jump in, or wait until there's a natural break. Break there. Wait till there's a natural break in the action, jump in. But this guy was mid-flow Flowz, mid-combination. Refs jumped in, and obviously, shout out to Team Heaney because very smart, the way they milked the time. took them forever to put the water in the gum shield and put it back in his mouth. That bought Heaney some precious extra seconds. And when the fight resumed, there wasn't much left for the rest of the round. And it just completely interrupted Paul's flow, which was very unfortunate. because he was. I'm not saying he would have stopped him there and there. I don't think he would have, because as you saw, we'll discuss in the 11th round. Heaney is a monster himself. I want to shout the conditioning in both of these guys, by the way, because from start to finish, Flowz, they were throwing a lot of punches, both of them.
Yeah.
And conditioning is elite, because to be able to throw that deep from round 1 to round 12 without really taking the break shows that you have top tier conditioning. Yeah. But yeah, that 8th round, Flowz, was a bit of a joke in terms of the referee stoppage for sure, right?
Yeah, I remember typing, "Ref, how the hell can you stop it there?" Look, granted, fighter safety. I always irk a bit when the gum shield comes out.
We know it's fighters do it on purpose as well. You know, we know some fights spit that.
But this one flew out. This one flew. You can see it fly. And Heaney was rocking and wobbling, and Paws was unloading. And then I just felt unnatural for the ref to jump in at that point. At least some could say, "Oh yeah, there was a break, there was a slight pause. That's why he was able to get in." But for me, it felt like he was itching to jump in and break off Paul's work. But yeah, I'm quite in two minds. At the time, I was a bit annoyed by it. Subsequently, I'm glad the fight went on and both fighters are okay and there's no broken jaws or whatever. So yeah, the refs do different things sometimes. There's some I don't really know the rules. I'll be real.
Yeah. 11th round now, Flowz. Another tough round for Heaney, but an amazing round because obviously Pauls has caught him early on in the round, and this time we've seen. I don't know how he didn't go down, Flowz, but my man staggered back against those legs, wobbled. He somehow stayed up, Flowz. Again, warrior Heaney is. Obviously, this is where the Pauls then starts unloading again. But when I say this round was elite, Flowz, Pauls has emptied the tank and gassed himself out damn near. Yeah. And towards the end of the round, we now see Heaney rallying and throwing combinations and, retaliating. So that round was super gassy, Flowz. The crowd was going crazy. I was applauded because, yeah, man, it was just back and forth between both guys. Both guys are warriors again.
I was going crazy. Because I completely lost track of what round it was. I thought it felt like a 12th round because his corner was said to him before the 11th, you need a knockout. You need a knockout. This is it. So going into the 11th round, I'm thinking, there's 2 more rounds. Let's see what Pauls can do. He's had him hurt before. They're both knackered. Once again, I want to shout the conditioning to both fighters. Both looked in great shape. Pauls has never even gone 12, and he So he goes out there, hurts Heaney, and he's unloading, rocking him. Heaney's wobbling all over the ring, literally all over the ring, getting rocked. I'm like, Heaney, why the hell are you not taking the knee? In my mind, he's about to get stopped. There's like, I think over a minute left in the round. Easily over. I'm thinking, I've already, because I've lost track of that. This is the 11th round. I'm thinking it's the 12th round. I'm like, Heaney, take a knee. Why take a knee? But because I think maybe I was slightly influenced by the commentary there. But it's more so that I was thinking the ref could stop this the way you're getting hurt here.
Yeah.
If you take a knee, you save yourself from being the ref just waving it off because you're all over the place. And then like you say, what do I see next? Pauls is tired and he's the one who's banging back.
Yeah, man.
This guy looked like he was on the verge of falling out the ring. So unbelievable round. And then the round rings. And obviously the commentary's going gas, the crowd's wild.
Bro,
I see them both go back and sit in the corner. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We got another round? I already stood up applauding.
Yeah, man. That round was sick. I had to run it back, man. It was a quality round. Really, just box office stuff. 12th round as well, Flowz. Obviously, they both, the respect there. They acknowledge each other and they go to war again in the 12th round. Back and forth again. Not as exciting as 11th round, but still, both of them are, landing good shots and Paul's going for it. Heaney's trying to counter and whatnot. We see, Heaney is a G because obviously when he slipped and man still had the energy, Flowz after being through this war from round 1 to 12. Man still had the energy to do the Rock Shawn Michaels flip back up with his feet. Cold. I don't have the energy to do that, Flowz, because he should be knackered.
It's confusing. He was once again that round wobbly, caught with big shots. His legs he stumbles and he doesn't wait immediately. does the flick up.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, this guy's a monster.
Crazy.
Shout out to both guys, man.
Shout out to
Great
both
fight.
guys, Flowz, and we got the result now. It's split draw, and to me, Flowz, I have no qualms in that result. Commentary were there saying, "Oh, I'm shocked by that result. I thought Heaney won by 2. Sharp.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the draw because it means we run it back, Flowz, and they need to run that back. Simple.
Yeah. Look, going into that 12th round, I was getting annoyed by the commentary because they kept saying, "Yeah, he needs a knockout here. I was like, if you get a knockdown, he's won in my eyes." I think I said it to you. I was like, if he gets a knockdown, he could take it. You don't need a knockout. He's not that far behind. I said a knockdown, and you could get it. And I was like, look, I could see maybe a split decision here. If the judges are being bogus, the majority decision maybe. But over to you, judges. Let's see what you do. And I was happy with it. Judges saw what we saw, Flo. Simple. Yeah. Or at least two of the judges had it close.
Yeah.
One had it 116, 113, maybe. Well, it's just close enough to be fair. But great fight. I'm happy with the draw. Don't think either fighter deserved to lose.
Yeah.
So run it back, man. It's a great one.
Run it back. Yeah, we need a conclusion. So definitely run it back. Yeah, Flowz, these British title fights, man. People, you don't listeners, don't sneer at them. Don't turn your nose up on them. They're great fights, a lot of them, Flowz, and they show again. A lot of them show the future of British boxing as well. And as I said, Flowz, it means more. It simply means more. It simply means more, bro. Simple as. But yeah, good. Honestly, Flowz, overall, a good card by Queensberry. Good card in terms of good fights on the card, some good fights, good knockouts we saw. Happy with the card, Flowz. Saturday night, you're not doing much. It was a good one to tuck into. On Saturday as well, Flowz, I just want to mention another British fighter that was in action, but over in America. UK's Maxi Hughes was fighting William Zepeda. Maxi, we mentioned a couple of times in this pod, Flowz, good boxer, good technical boxer, smart, good IQ. Not blessed with power, which obviously is a hindrance sometimes, Flowz. And against Zepeda, Flowz, he got mauled. Absolutely destroyed, Flowz. Battered from pillar to post from round 1 to 4. In the end, he didn't come out for the 5th round, so he retired in his stall. Yeah, man. I mean, he wasn't expected to win anyways, but I didn't think he would see him get, because I respect his boxing skills, Flowz. I didn't expect the mauling that was, but this Zepeda guy just stepped to him and in true Mexican style just went to work, really, Flowz. And I'm seeing Flowz in the round before he retired, Flowz. The Zepeda's like Flowz just teed off. I couldn't believe Flowz.
I'm surprised the ref didn't stop it.
Flowz, I was shocked. I was so because Flowz in the center of the ring, Flowz. Max is and Max is even. The thing is, Max is even trying to throw back, but it's just nothing. It's not doing nothing.
Barely.
Look, Flowz, I was shocked to see the way he get teed off like that. I said, nah.
I'm honestly surprised. Like I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, I'm expecting the towel to just fly in. I'm expecting the towel to fly in, or the rest of it. But maybe because it was in the center of the ring. It was,
and he wasn't like rocking and roll. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But he was just getting teed off on, and then the camera cuts to his wife.
Oh, that was deep. That was deep. She's looking hella worried and hella stressed. Oh, it was so deep.
And I'm feeling like, stop this. I knew it. He can't come out. They can't send him out
because that was a crazy round. In
the corner, you had the doctor, the ref.
Yeah, man.
I think the security guards. Everyone's standing over his corner, all unanimously shaking their heads.
Yeah, deep. Like I said, good boxer, Maxi. Good boxer, but that was peak, man. That was so peak. This Zepeda guy, man, he's wanted to, watch. I mean, obviously he's got a name in America now, so I think he's undefeated still.
He's Golden Boy.
Ooh, I suspect so. Yeah, I think he must. Well, actually, no. Who is Maxi Hughes with?
He's with Eddie. He's with Heaney.
He might be Matchroom then. This Zepeda guy. Let me see.
Zepeda's the one who's meant to fight Shakur and turn it down. No,
let me check if it's.
I think he is with Oscar.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find. I can't find it right now, but maybe he is. Yeah, maybe he is Oscar. But yeah, he's good though.
Yeah.
Flowz. He looks promising. 30 wins, 26 by KO. Hard hitter. He'll be challenged for a world title soon, I'm sure. I mean, that was the Master Hughes win was a WBA and IBF title eliminator anyway. So yeah, we'll look out to see him in the title fight very soon. He looks a problem. He looks a problem still.
Yeah, it was smart for. Well, I think Oscar's calling for him to fight Shakur now, but I know they turned it down before for whatever reason. But look, going into this fight, I thought, yeah, I knew Maxi wasn't going to win. I mean, I've given Maxi credit in the past. I think he's super improved. I said he would give Kambosos hell because
Arguably won that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, many people thought he. Did I think he win? I can't remember what I thought.
I think you said you felt he won in the pod.
Yeah, I think so.
Beat Kid Galahad as well.
Yeah, so he's been improving, but against Zepeda, who's strong and aggressive and can punch. Yeah, I knew Maxi would be. It's the first fight he started off with his boxing. He's very good. Maxi was very underrated, but yeah, once the storm came, it was long for him. If he's up against someone else who tries to box, he will do well.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know where Maxi goes from here.
Yeah, his lack of power it's tough.
Yeah,
that lack of power flows. So same thing with Paulie Malignaggi, for example, who was a very good boxer in his own right, but zero power. It's hard to get some beasts off you when you don't have power. I can't lie, Flowz, and you can box all you want, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Good resume in terms of the fighters he's fought and whatnot, but yeah, his lack of power is always going to come back to bite him, I think. No shame in losing to Zepeda. Flowz. Zepeda is someone that's again highly ranked, highly rated. He was kind of expected to lose, as we said. Yeah, it's just the way it is, man.
It's the way he's lost. Like the way he lost against Kambosos, his stock rose. The way he's lost against Zepeda. To be fair, that might bring more opportunities. Like maybe him versus a Keyshawn Davis or.
Yikes! You want to get killed? Right? You want to get killed?
No, but I'm just saying those are fights that will make him money, right?
Yeah. I guess.
He'll make more money from. I'm not saying Keyshawn Davis is a star, but he's fought Kambosos. He looked good against him. He's fought as a Zepeda.
Maybe a Kid Austin or something.
Maybe someone who's maybe become a gatekeeper at the division.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a tough division.
It is. And if you ain't got equalizer Flowz or just elite boxing ability, it's long for you. Is what it is.
Yeah.
So, man.
He's just gonna see what he can do really.
Cool. Another British fighter Flowz that we got to talk about. This happened on Sunday now. St. Paddy's Day. Dylan Whyte made his return in Ireland against Christian Hammer. This fight only lasted 3 rounds, Flowz. Dylan beat up Christian Hammer as expected, Flowz. Performance takeaway for me, Flowz. He didn't particularly look great, but it's the opponent, I guess. He's coming off a long layoff, a year and a half. I didn't expect him to look great, especially as before the layoff, Flowz, he wasn't looking great anyway. So if we keep it a buck, he wasn't. His last 2 fights layoff was Fury, where he stunk out the joint, and Jermaine Franklin, where he stunk it out as well. So he hasn't looked good for a while. And against a Hammer, it's not, opponent-wise, it's probably not the best opponent to look great against because Hammer he came out swinging, to be fair, Flowz. But then quickly after eating a few of the patented white body shots, he definitely went into his shell. I wasn't really looking to engage anymore. And we've seen it after the 3rd round now, Flowz. He's retired in his stall and quit. And Whyte kills me because you see Whyte's reaction. And especially after his... bro, Whyte, this is why I like Whyte, because he's such a character, right? He always speaks his mind. So when the referee's obviously doing the winner and raising their hands, just before the referees announce the winner, obviously when you saw the winner, but just before the result of the fight gets announced, Whyte's going at Hammer saying, why'd you quit? You're a coward. You're a coward. I used to respect you, but you're a coward. He said, I don't respect you no more. Walked away from him, didn't even hug him.
So why did you fight on? Why did you carry on?
I'm finished. So finished. And I
And it
was
happens, they're asking him why am I counting? Yeah. Whyte was kidding. Whyte was furious that he quit. Furious.
livid
You put you obviously
because
he's been out for a long time.
yeah, he wanted rounds, simple.
Yeah.
And Hammer's seen as quite durable.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Like it's an unsatisfactory victory, and I like that about White that he's not satisfied because some people would have been jumping on the ropes celebrating. Like, like a stoppage like that where you feel like the fight can carry on.
yeah,
Because like I was even thinking back to, let's say, the Dennis McCann fight. In certain fights, you've been dropped to the second round. You have your nose is bloodied. You have every
you
right to
think
quit.
yeah,
That guy went to 12 for Hammer. I guess you're old. You got a family. The desire's gone. Maybe I can't remember the last time Hammer fought. But he wasn't in any pain or bloodiness. He could have gone on.
yeah,
It's disappointing, but I can see why White's disappointed, and I'm glad he
yeah,
cooked it.
yeah. And even in the interview afterwards, I saw the interview he did with Radio Raheem on Radio Raheem's channel. Cooked him get say, he's such a coward. Before, I had so much respect for him beforehand, but now got zero respect for him. He shouldn't step inside the ring again. He was absolutely livid, Flowz.
Yeah.
And what killed me as well is like, oh yeah, no. He said, I wanted, and obviously they asked him, obviously he wanted more rounds. What do you think? He said, what do you think would have happened? He said, obviously I would have, I was going to knock him out. I was going to knock him out. I was going to destroy him. But you don't quit like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, man, good to see Whyte back anyways. And like I said, I'm not expecting him to look amazing against Christian Hammer after that long layoff. Whyte, I think, is someone that he's always been someone, Flowz, that needs activity to see progression from him and to see him get back into it. So hopefully he can have a couple more fights this year, Flowz. Well, TV, he hasn't got much time, but TV, I don't know how much time he has, but if he can have maybe one or two, maybe more like tune-up fights just to really shake the ring rust off Flowz, that'd be good for him maybe, or one more tune-up fight at least. As I said, he's already called out Joe Joyce. He said he's willing to have that fight. Mentioned how Joe Joyce struggled with Cash Ali. So yeah, and he was honest. He said, yeah, obviously Joe Joyce didn't look great against Cash, and obviously he didn't look great against Hammer, but it is what it is. But he's willing to. He's willing to fight everyone. We know this about him. He's always had that energy. So he will truly fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place, really and truly. So yeah. Yeah, but apart from that, I haven't really anything to take away from the performance, Flowz. Hammer was an opponent that is Hammer in it. So yeah, he's not going to look $1 million against my man like that.
Yeah, it's just good for White to get activity. He did look in great shape. Yeah. So
Expected,
I think, yeah, that's expected. So before he gets back in with the names, get a few tune-ups, get a few cams under your belt. Obviously harder now. None of these guys are young anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's what, 35, 36.
Yeah.
So yeah, just I think what Saudi have done is made sure these men are active. There's no more sitting on the couch, no more waiting.
Yeah, no more wait. Yeah.
So if you want to be part of that payday, be part of those events, get moving.
Yeah.
Stay active and make these fights happen.
For sure. Let's take a quick look for us of next week. Sticking with the theme of, I guess, British British fighters, up and coming British fighters. We've got a card headlined by one of the guys that is on our prospect list, Dalton Smith, super lightweight. He's competing at super lightweight at the moment. He's up against Jose Zepeda, Flowz. This is a great fight on paper to me, Flowz. Obviously, we've got Dalton Smith on our prospect list for a reason. We believe he's a promising British fighter who, potentially could do good things. We rate him on this pod. But Zepeda, we know, Flowz very, very well. That's a world level operator, as we know, Flowz. And very, very good fighter in his own right, Jose Zepeda. I mean, if I look at Zepeda's resume, Flowz, it's top notch. I mean, you've got guys such as Baranchik on there, Prograis on there. He's coming off a loss against Hitchens, but Hitchens is a fighter who we rate highly on this pod as well, as someone that is, next. He's also on the prospect list, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, man, Zepeda's been there with quality. He's fought for world titles. He went to war with Regis, lost in the end, but he was, he was back and forth. He did his thing. I'm trying to think. I think Jose Ramirez again, obviously on his list as well. He fought for world title against Jose Ramirez. That was a close MD. So yeah, man, he's good, man. He's good. And it's going to be a big step up for Dalton, but one that tells us, are you really about this, Dalton? Are you worthy of being on our prospect list? Let's see if you can hang against someone who has been at world level before. And it will tell us a lot, right, Flowz? It will tell us a lot in terms of where Dalton can go next.
Yeah, look, so Peter's been in some wars, like you say. The Barenchik fight, infamous, what was 5 knockdowns or
wasn't like 4 knockdowns apiece?
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Like something dumb like that, yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous. So he's been in some wars. How old is he now? Zepeda?
34. He's
okay. Yeah. So this is a good fight for Dalton Smith. Expect him to win. I'm backing him to win. I think, yeah.
You think he's ready, yeah, to make this step up?
Yeah. We're gonna find out.
Yeah,
We're gonna find out. But yeah, I think he can do it. It's a good fight. I'll tune in. And yeah, I think he's been itching to step up, Dalton Smith.
It's Flowz. I'll be real. It's a massive step up though, huge step up. Because if I think about Dalton is 15 fights in, and for example, his last 4 fights, Flowz, he's defended the British title.
Yeah. So
to go from that to a Zepeda, who has fought for world title twice, represents a huge step up, to be honest, Flowz. That's what makes it intriguing for me. I do think he can do it, Flowz, but I think, again, it might be tough. But yeah, that step up is crazy. British level to Zepeda. It's kind of crazy.
Hitchens was a step up against Zepeda as well.
Yeah, Hitchens. So Hitchens did it.
Up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you Flowz, we said it before. If you're good enough, you're good enough. You could come in 3 fights in and be Lomachenko fought for world title this first fight, right? So if you're good enough, you are genuinely good enough, which is fair enough. So if he feels he's ready, let's see. Let's see what you can do, Dalton. And he has a good performance against Zepeda, Flowz. He really puts himself on the map, right, Flowz, in that division, that weight class, as someone that he's next up and coming, and this could be a next world champion coming out of Britain potentially. So far in his young career, he's looked good so far, anyways, Flowz. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued for this matchup for sure.
Yeah, look, let's see. I always think coming to the UK as well is well, we'll see. But that shit, wherever it is, the crowd will be ruckus. So yeah, should be a good fight. Yeah,
it's in Sheffield as well, and pretty sure that is where Dalton is from, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say that. I wasn't sure if it's going to be there.
Yeah, so the crowd we know is going to be, as you say, very, very raucous. There is a world title fight on the card, Flowz. We've got Sandy Ryan against Terry Harper. That's for the WBO welterweight title. So yeah, that's actually a decent. I expect that to be a decent fight as well. Flowz, a good scrap between both of them. Sandy's a champion, isn't she? I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. I'm just sure. Yeah, because her last fight was against McCaskill, where she had that draw with McCaskill, and she kept her title, and that was for McCaskill's other 2 belts. But that should be a good fight. I'm trying to look at it. Who else under the card as well? Ishmael Davis, Troy Williamson. That's a British super middleweight title eliminator. Campbell Hatton, of course. They roll him out for every matchroom card. He's there. It's mad. It feels like yesterday when we saw Campbell Hatton make his debut, but he's 14 fights in now, Flowz. Fair play. But Campbell Hatton's funny, man. He gets a lot of hate, man.
It's the banter that online and through that's so funny. Like everyone ducking him. And then he was smoking all the big names.
It's hilarious, to be honest. It's quite funny. But yeah, should be a good card. I look forward to that main event, Flowz, a lot. Let's see what you're made of, Dalton. This is a big one for you. That's it, Flowz, in terms of next week. Anything to add? If you want to quickly discuss anything that's been in the news recently? Nothing really has caught my eye, to be honest. Yeah, it's been pretty dry, to be honest, by boxing standards.
I saw something about Tim Tszyu and think. Oh wait, Josh Taylor, Jack Carroll postponed.
Oh yes, postponed due to an injury. Second time this has happened now, Flowz, again.
Third, I'm sure it's the third.
I don't know. I definitely remember a previous time. Now, obviously, Jack Carroll and his camp are livid, and the fans are calling him. Josh Taylor gave the explanation as to why it's an eye related. He said he had surgery in his eye, a surgical procedure, and he's been checking in with the doctors, and they've recommended they push the fight back for a month because the pressure in his eye hasn't gone down correctly or something like that. But I don't know, Flowz. He hasn't pulled out. That's the only, because last time it was a complete cancellation of the bout, right, Flowz? So at least this time there has been another date set in, and it's just a month later. So yeah, that's the only solace I can offer to Mr. Carroll. But I can imagine right now, Flowz, his head is on Mars. His head must be on Mars because this has happened, as you said, it's not the first time it's happened. He's been itching to get his revenge against this guy. Again, Flowz, all this plays into, I can't lie, Flowz, all this still plays into a Josh Taylor win for me because of the fact that I just see the universe being mean and just not giving Jack Carroll he's just reward. Even though I want Carroll to win, I'm rooting for him. I just can't shake the feeling that it's just not, the revenge story is just not going to go so sweet, man. It's nasty, man, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
They pushed this. Well, it was meant to happen. They pushed it back. Then he got injured, and then he got cancelled.
Yep.
Then they had other fights. Then they've come back off. So this fight has been, because we were meant to get this in like 2002 or so, I swear, or 2003.
Yeah.
So look, I just hope it happens. I've been calling for it.
Yeah.
It's a shame for Carroll.
Feel for him, yeah.
We need this chapter to be closed.
Yeah.
But we just need the story to continue, really. I mean, we need something to happen. Yeah. So hopefully it does happen. The other one I saw was, what's it called? Tim Tszyu and one-time Furman. Apparently one-time Furman's got an injury. So that's been cancelled, apparently.
That's a huge blow to PBC. It being the debut card that on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Is that confirmed then? Guaranteed.
I'm not sure if it's confirmed. Sources, that's apparently what's been said. But I think Michael Benson might have posted it, and
yeah, I've just checked 4 hours ago, Flowz. It's been confirmed. Sources. I say confirmed. Sources are saying is Mike Hoppinger, of course. Apparently, Tszyu is fighting Fundora now.
It's fight. So yeah, we'll see.
Again, Keith is another one, unfortunately, that we know Flowz has had his fair share of injuries. A lot of injury problems Keith has had throughout his career. But yeah, shame. But yeah, Flowz, let's call it a day there, man.
A lot of experiments, a lot of cancellations.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Tim Tszyu been through his.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, let's call it a day, Flowz. It's been episode 187 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know where to find us. Keep running them streams. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.